Imagine you're an NFL Hall of Famer. You've spent 12 years organizing charity convoys to help your community. You're doing exactly what you've done hundreds of times before, leading that convoy through small-town Florida. And then suddenly, you're face down on the pavement, handcuffed, arrested in front of dozens of witnesses. The charge, obstruction, the problem. Days later, prosecutors will admit the arrest never should have happened. The officers, they broke the law, not you. Welcome to True Crime Explorers. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our deep dives into the cases where the system fails the people it's supposed to protect. This is the story of Warren Sapp, a man who dominated NFL defenses for 13 years, earned a gold jacket in Canton, and dedicated over a decade to giving back. But on February 24, 2024, in Okeechobee County, Florida, none of that mattered. What happened that day would expose troubling questions about police conduct, racial bias, and what happens when citizens try to hold law enforcement accountable. Based on court filings, body camera footage, and Sapp's federal lawsuit, we're going to walk through exactly what went wrong and why it matters far beyond one man's wrongful arrest. Warren Sapp isn't just another celebrity. 7 Pro Bowls, a Super Bowl championship with Tampa Bay, Hall of Fame induction in 2013, one of the most dominant defensive tackles in NFL history. But here's what matters more. After football, Sapp became a coach at the University of Colorado under Deion Sanders, and for 12 consecutive years, he'd been organizing charity convoys through Florida, bringing supplies to underserved communities. 12 years without incident, 12 years of giving back, until February 24, 2024. The arrest that shouldn't have happened. Picture this: a sunny Saturday afternoon in rural Okeechobee County, Florida. Sapp is leading his annual charity convoy, dozens of vehicles, motorcycles, trucks loaded with supplies. This was a planned event that had succeeded year after year. Then deputies with the Okeechobee County Sheriff's Office pulled the convoy over for alleged traffic violations. According to Sapp's federal lawsuit, he approached the officers as the organizer to understand what was happening. He had questions. He wanted to know why they were being stopped. He wasn't aggressive. He wasn't threatening. He was asking questions, something every American has the right to do. Officers charged him with obstruction without violence, but here's what changes everything. Days later, the assistant state attorney reviewed the case and made a stunning determination. The law wouldn't support a conviction. More damning, the prosecutor stated that the officer's actions during the arrest were unlawful, not questionable, unlawful. The charges were dropped, but the damage was done. The complaint that went nowhere. After his wrongful arrest, Sapp did what any citizen should be able to do. He tried to file a formal complaint. According to his lawsuit, this is where things went from troubling to potentially unconstitutional. Sapp alleges he faced significant difficulties registering his complaint with the sheriff's office, obstacles, delays, resistance. Think about that. You're wrongfully arrested. Prosecutors admit the officers broke the law, and when you try to file a complaint, you hit roadblocks. That's not just frustrating, it's a systemic failure of accountability. In December 2024, nearly 10 months after his arrest, Sapp filed a $20 million notice of claim against Okeechobee County, alleging civil rights violations, unlawful arrest, and a pattern of conduct suggesting something deeper than one officer's bad day. Have you heard of cases where filing complaints against police became nearly impossible? Let me know in the comments. These stories matter. The admission and the racial question. Here's what separates this from many wrongful arrest cases. The Okeechobee County Sheriff's Office admitted to procedural errors. They acknowledged mistakes during Sapp's arrest and the subsequent handling of his complaint attempts. That admission is significant, but admission without accountability is just words. Now for the element nobody wants to address but everybody's thinking about, Warren Sapp is a black man arrested in rural Florida. His lawsuit alleges civil rights violations. Research shows black Americans are disproportionately stopped and arrested even in routine encounters. Was race a factor? The lawsuit suggests it may have been. We know for certain a prominent black man leading a charity convoy was arrested on charges prosecutors said wouldn't hold up. following officer actions deemed unlawful. Civil rights attorneys note that the pattern Sapp describes, questionable stop, aggressive arrest, difficulty filing complaints, mirrors experiences reported by countless people of color nationwide. If you're finding this case as compelling as I am, hit that like button. The fight for accountability. Sapp's $20 million claim is moving forward. That number represents compensation for wrongful arrest, civil rights violations, emotional distress, and a punitive message that this conduct cannot be tolerated. He has several factors in his favor. Charges dropped with prosecutors explicitly stating officers acted unlawfully, the sheriff's office admitting procedural errors, and documented difficulty filing complaints. But Sapp's case matters beyond him. He has resources to fight back legally. He has public recognition, bringing media attention. But for every Warren Sapp with those advantages, how many people face similar treatment with no recourse? How many wrongful arrests happen to people who can't afford lawyers or fear retaliation? The ripple effects extend far beyond the individual. They damage trust, discourage civic engagement, and send a message that challenging authority, even lawfully, comes with risks. Warren Sapp continues coaching at Colorado. He hasn't let this arrest stop his work or his voice. That takes courage. His lawsuit seeks more than money. It seeks acknowledgement, reform, and a public reckoning with what happened and why. But money alone doesn't fix systemic problems. Real justice includes policy changes, better training on constitutional rights, clearer procedures, accessible complaint processes, and consequences for officers who violate the law. Real justice includes transparency about what happened during Sapp's arrest and what failures occurred when he tried to file his complaint. Real justice ensures the next person leading a charity convoy through that county doesn't end up handcuffed for asking questions. Remember how we started? An NFL Hall of Famer arrested while doing charity work on charges dropped days later following conduct prosecutors called unlawful. That's not just Warren Sapp's story. That's a mirror held up to policing in America, reflecting both the problems we've been avoiding and the accountability we desperately need. This case shows that no amount of success or goodwill work makes you immune to civil rights violations when the system fails, but it also shows the system can be challenged, cases can be dismissed, admissions can be extracted, lawsuits can be filed. Change, slow and painful as it is, remains possible. Which part of Warren Sapp's case stayed with you most? The dropped charges? The admission of errors? The difficulty filing complaints? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. Your voice matters in this conversation. If you want to explore more cases where the system failed and people fought back, check out our video on latest video right here in the right-hand corner. Subscribe and turn on notifications. We post new deep dives every Tuesday and Saturday. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and remember, asking questions isn't a crime, it's right, and rights only matter when we're willing to defend them.